With Russell Crowe as Superman's father, Jor-El, the film starts with real dramatic gravity.
Goodbye, my son. Our hopes and dreams travel with you.
He'll be an outcast. I'll kill him.
How? He'll be a god to them.
Mr. Zack Snyder, a very warm welcome to Top Billing. It's a real honor to have you on the show.
Awesome.
How important was it for you to create a Superman that was slightly different to what we perceive?
To be honest, what we tried to do is we took the old movies and we said, okay, let's pretend like those movies don't exist. And now let's pretend like we found the comic books like under our bed, and we're like, hey, we should make a movie out of this. By the way, it's a big stack of comic books, not a small one. 75 years, you get a fair amount of versions of Superman, as you know. And I think in that we were like, you look at this, we have this title, Man of Steel, where we put the man first. It's Superman, man comes after super. And we really wanted to get at him, the sort of human man that is Superman, and like understand him, so that when he makes a decision as a superhero, we kind of know the why of it.
How do you find someone who has spent a lifetime covering his tracks? For some, he was a guardian angel. For others, a ghost who never quite fit in.
Every kid growing up, especially from my era, it was either Spider-Man, Superman, or Batman. What does it feel like being called Superman?
It's very surreal, and as much as I played the character for 6 months and researched him for 5, it's still one of those things which kind of, makes you go, really? Like Superman?
He will give the people of Earth an ideal to strive towards.
The all-important costume keeps the signature S and the color scheme, but in darker tones for modern times.
We put him in the old Christopher Reeves costume because we didn't have the modern costume, right?
With the red undies.
With the red undies, with the whole thing. Spandex, true spandex, right? He put the suit on and he just looked like Superman, he just felt like Superman to me. And it was the difference literally between someone dressing up like Superman and someone just being Superman.
After increasing his calories and an intensive gym program, Cavill was ready to fill the suit.
I have to touch on the suit. It's taken a bit of a new look. And how does it feel when you put that suit on? Did you suddenly just basically come into character?
There was so much love and respect, and the character was held in such high importance when it was being designed that it held a genuine energy. It contained all of that love and respect. It had a physical force about it, and so yes, it felt very, very different.
I can't print this, Lois. You might have hallucinated half of it.
Harry, come on, it's me we're talking about.
With Lawrence Fishburne as her editor, Amy Adams makes a feisty reporter and leading lady.
Your character, Lois Lane, has always been a very strong female character. Yet this time round, she's so much more than that. She's almost a human version of Superman.
Thank you. I like that. I'm going to use that. No, she's really allowed to be a part of the solution, which allows for her to be much more active in the movie, as opposed to just kind of chasing a story and getting in the way of Clark saving the world. And they've really allowed for her to have a lot of heart and a lot of deep affection for Superman.
Born on the British island of Jersey, Cavill has brought a small-town charm to the Man of Steel.
I often describe him as like he has this humility, and he's very much a gentleman. Like there's something kind of old-fashioned about him, and it's so refreshing in a leading man that he's not full of all this like bravado. I call it leading with the hips, and he's like he leads with his heart, and it's really, really nice. It suits the role so perfectly.
What's the S stand for?
It's not an S.
How about Super?
Excuse me.
Your co-star, Amy, an incredible performance by her. Lois Lane wasn't that typical damsel in distress. I mean, her character also grew in many ways.
Very much so. Very much so. Lois's character helps Clark as much as Clark helps her, and is entirely essential to Clark's decision-making process.
Superman's nemesis, also from the destroyed planet of Krypton, tracks him to our solar system to create a Krypton race on Earth.
My name is General Zod. For some time, your world has sheltered one of my citizens.
Respected actors Michael Shannon and German Antje Traue bring depth to the Kryptonian baddies.
It's not your typical villainous characters that you guys play, because both of you have a point of view and you believe in that point of view, and there's a sense of humanity and morality.
Well, yeah, we're military beings, we're just like any general or any commander would do in any other army. We're just trying to do our jobs,
No matter how violent, every action I take is for the greater good. And I'm gonna stop you.
I also like the way it was shot. Lots of the scenes on a single camera, handheld, and it almost felt like I was an innocent bystander, almost spying on what was going on.
I like that you mentioned that because the operator, John, he's just an incredible camera operator, and he almost became sort of part of the scene. He was almost like a friend. He was always there with us, and that's exactly what gives you the feeling to be within the scene.
Yeah.
And that makes it great, yeah.
You okay? What are you smiling about, Captain?
I just think he's kind of hot.
The fate of your planet rests in your hands.
If you had to sum it up in one sentence for the audience, how would you describe it?
In the words of Zack Snyder, it's awesome.
If there was one of Superman's powers that you could steal for just one single day, what would that be?
Easy answer, flight. 100%. No more waiting in line at the airport, no more taking my shoes and belt off every time I travel. And, I mean, imagine just being able to pop home within 5 seconds.
My father believed if the world found out who I really was, they'd reject me. He was convinced that the world wasn't ready. What do you think?
Man of Steel opens nationwide tomorrow, the 28th of June.